crucible is still embedded in the titan that attacked this Sentinel City. Your first battle against the demons in this world, where the legend of the Slayer began.
So the last couple of days, the Doom community has kind of erupted into a hellfire of anger and frustration following the release of Update 1 on Doom Eternal and the inclusion of the Denuvo anti-cheat on the game. I made a video called Update 1 Broke Doom Eternal. In that, I kind of brought to light a lot of the performance issues and bugs that I was experiencing since downloading that patch. I'm actually really amazed how many of you have found and watched that video, so thank you all very much for the support, the likes, the comments, the shares. It's incredible. I like to focus more on reviews and hot takes and opinion pieces and guides, but Doom Eternal is very special to me. I'm very passionate about it and, well, Doom in general. I dropped over $200 buying the collector's edition and then buying the deluxe edition on Steam as well. So I was, pretty hacked off with how my performance had tanked, and I'm just very invested and involved with Doom and wanted to talk about my issues. That video was a bit more of a rant. I was quickly sharing my performance issues after the new update, but I wanted to talk about some specifics in this video today, test some of the potential fixes that I have seen floating around the internet, and see how the game is still impacted a couple of days after the patch went live. For this video, I'm going to be using Terrace Nabad as the base of my performance. It has a lot going on early on into the level. There's a Marauder, so I can see how the AI behavior of that is acting as well. That said, Hugo Martin himself has commented on the Doom Facebook group that the Marauder has not been patched. His behavior should be acting the same. He has not been nerfed, and he actually said that they found an exploit that people were using that they are patching out, so he should be actually getting harder. So yeah, that, at least according to Hugo, puts the fear at ease that they are nerfing the Marauder. But regardless, I wanted to take a look at his AI behavior because I noticed some strange things with my playthrough in the last video that I wanted to take a look at again. Also, for this video, I'm going to be running the game on Ultra Nightmare graphics, which are maxed settings at 110 FOV. This is what I played on before the patch, and I was, for 80 hours, able to play with no performance issues. I'll put my computer specs in the video description, and I will also have them at the end of the video during a real-time performance log as I run through the levels.
Your crucible is still embedded in the titan that attacked this Sentinel City. Your first battle against the demons in this world, where the legend of the Slayer began.
So the first fix that I saw floating around the internet was people were saying that after yesterday's patch, the game just worked right. There was a patch yesterday that was supposedly fixing some issues with matchmaking in battle mode, so I wanted to see if my game had improved since yesterday. Most of the issues that I had the other day, I still have. I have frame dips, I have slowdowns, I have wonky acting AI, the same thing that I was experiencing the other day. Weapon switching felt off as the dips impacted the game from registering key inputs, so I couldn't switch guns as fast. Nothing had changed in terms of performance. That said, I did not crash at all, so that is a plus. There were no crashes today.
Crucible is still embedded in the titan that attacked this Sentinel City. Your first battle against the demons in this world, where the legend of the Slayer began.
The second fix that I seen on the internet was to simply verify your Steam files. So after verification, I found that there was nothing wrong with my install. They didn't end up downloading any new files, and I tried, loaded up the game again and had the exact same issues. Slowdown, frame dips, weird AI, but again, no crashes.
Your crucible is still embedded in the titan that attacked this Sentinel city. Your first battle against the demons in this world, and where the legend of the Slayer began.
The third test that I saw floating around the internet was to put this launch command in when you were booting the game up or in your config files, and some people reported that that helped. I don't actually know what this changes, but I tested it anyway, and it did not help me. I have the same issues, but again, I did not experience any crashing. So the one good thing of today was that I did not crash at all, compared to yesterday or the other day where I was crashing all over. Still have the frame dips and performance issues though. I wanted to see if this was only affecting single player, so I booted up battle mode and had the same frame dips and slowdowns. Again, no crashes, but I cannot see how anybody can play the game with these frames. It definitely fucked up my matches. I lost really hard, especially playing as the Slayer. There were also still significant connection issues as well. I had difficulty finding some matches, and there was severe desync, which resulted in some unfair deaths. But again, no crashes. I wanted to see if other maps were experiencing the same thing or if it was only Terrace Nabad, so I booted up Necrovol, and I had the same issues. Frame dip, slowdown, etc. It made playing the level awkward. It feels like you're walking through mud. Aiming feels off and sluggish, and aerial movement is really floaty. I powered through it though, and you can see that, especially at the end of the level, that my frames are just dying. I did see my first empowered demon though, so that was cool. Omegapod, you have been avenged. But it's just not running the way it should. I then decided to test running the game on low graphics settings. At low, it ran perfectly. Smooth 60 frames per second the entire time. No slowdown, no dips. Even the Marauder AI seemed to act more aggressively like it used to, which makes me wonder, is AI tied to frame rate? It plays just like it used to on Ultra Nightmare graphics before the patch. Admittedly, the game doesn't really look all that different on low compared to Ultra Nightmare, but still, the game should run the same as it did at launch, and you can see here it definitely no longer runs like it used to. Again, look at my review and follow-up videos for gameplay running at 60 frames on Ultra Nightmare graphics settings before this patch hit. I also ran into some other weird glitches today. AI was acting weird again. The Marauder was unaggressive. The Revenant was not chasing me or moving around the maps at all. I saw a Spectre that was just a black pinky instead of invisible. Just some of the bugs over the course of playing an hour today. So I decided to play the same chunk of level back to back with performance specs being monitored. The first set of footage is on maxed settings, Ultra Nightmare. You can see significant frame dips, even dipping below 20 frames per second at times. The slowdown is rampant, especially during combat, but even dips to 30 to 45 when I'm just walking around or standing still. On low, the game runs at 60 frames per second the entire time. No significant dips, even during heavy combat. The difference is night and day. Now I know some people are going to say, well, then run the game on lower settings. But that doesn't fix the issue at hand. My game used to run perfectly at maxed settings. It should still be running perfectly at maxed settings. And if the addition of a broken update or the inclusion of the Denuvo anti-cheat is creating the issue, then it needs to be addressed. I have a good computer. Other people don't. And if I'm having issues with how I used to play the game, that means other people are too. And if people had to run the game on low, they might not be able to play it anymore because you can't go lower than low settings. Some people have even reported their save data being completely erased, and likewise Linux players are completely out of luck. The game will no longer launch on Linux because the Denuvo anti-cheat won't update for their systems. There's a whole chunk of the Doom community no longer able to play the game because of this update, and that is shameful. Now, the Denuvo controversy is a little out of my area of expertise. I didn't comment on it in the first video because I'm not a computer or software engineer. I don't understand the minutia of how it all works, and I hear buzzwords like rootkit and kernel-level access, and yeah, they scare me, but I don't particularly understand them. I don't particularly like a program having deep access to my computer, especially since a bad driver can fuck your day up. But as people have pointed out, many games and programs have kernel-level access. Halo, Dead by Daylight, and the NVIDIA GeForce drivers are just some of them that I have on my computer that have that level of access. And as other people have pointed out, if you have a cell phone and have been going on Google or Facebook, that means that your data isn't safe either. So I don't really want to comment about the risk of security or privacy when I don't fully understand it all myself. So make your own conclusions. If you feel unsafe or untrusting and don't want to use the service, by all means stop. But if you're okay with it, then use it. I'm not scared enough to completely wipe Eternal from my computer, but I am cautious and aware of it now. Lastly, like I said, the community is up in flames right now. The Doom Facebook group, Reddit, Steam forums are a mess of rage, confusion, conspiracy theory, complaints, fear, argument, false information. Just please try to look at the situation level-headed. I understand the anger and frustration. I was one of the first people to get angry about it. But let's try our best to make sure that we're sharing fact and not misinformation or conspiracy. I get review bombing to a degree. I actually did change my Steam review to a negative, but I included my original review with it. I just wanted to add that I'm experiencing performance issues now. People who are buying the game need to be aware of that, and I will 100% change my review back to positive once this issue is fixed. And I have confidence that id will fix it and make this right. That they will fix the performance and bring Eternal back to its past glory. I hate that we have to deal with this right now, but let's try and exercise some patience. Don't get me wrong, I'm mad, I'm sad, I'm frustrated, and I don't quite understand what is going on. But I'm still hopeful that they will fix this. I'm not looking to refund my game. I'm not spamming id or Bethesda or Hugo on social media demanding them to fix it. I'm making these videos to make people aware of the issues and discuss the issues that I am finding, not necessarily to fan the flames of anger and war. That said, leave a comment with any issues that you're experiencing and let me know if you have no issues as well. Let's keep this conversation going, but try to keep a level and rational head about it. But if this is something that you want to keep hearing about, I will by all means keep talking about Doom Eternal. Thanks for watching.
Your crucible is still embedded in the Titan that attacked this Sentinel City. Your first battle against the demons in this world, where the legend of the Slayer began. Site of the first recorded demon attack in Denuvo. According to the Corax tablet, the city would have been lost had it not been for the arrival of the Slayer. But this time Earth will be different. Your crucible is still embedded in the Titan that attacked this Sentinel city. Your first battle against the demons in this world, where the legend of the Slayer began. Site of the first recorded demon attack in Denuvo. According to the Corax tablet, the city would have been lost had it not been for the arrival of the Slayer. all your strength, all that rage, and you couldn't save this world from itself.